make sure logically I am able to prove that God exists, right? So what would be your some arguments to prove that God exists? Others can also switch on their videos if it's possible. It becomes easier for me. So how do you prove? What is the logical arguments you can give that God exists? Give me a couple of things which you can logically say to someone. Yes, Ritu. Your voice is not audible. आपका आवाज सुनाई नहीं दे रहा. No. You want to bring the mobile or device closer to you. Okay. Meanwhile, okay. No, so meanwhile, somebody else can try. How do you prove logically that God exists? God is there. All of us know God is there, but there are so many people who don't believe in God. बोलते कि कहाँ किसने देखा है भगवान? कैसे माने हम भगवान हैं? So last time we proved that soul exists. We can make out soul by different, logical proofs. Like we say somebody passes away, we say, oh, that person has passed away, right? वो गुजर गए, वो कैलाशवासी हो गए. That is one proof we talked about. Second proof we talked about was reincarnation. Many people get reincarnated in their childhood. They are able to remember their past lives. Then we talked about phobias, right? Okay, Ritu is saying nature works with the instruction of Lord. Yeah, but many people say nature is self-sufficient. Nature is self-sufficient. There is no God. Everything is under the nature. That's what people say. Right? So we have to be a little more specific. Okay, Rahul is saying there is a creator behind creation of material planets. Logical reason of creator behind. Okay, we are very close. So last time we talked about how soul exists because we can see people. Like for example, we said somebody is born in an Ambani family or a Tata Birla family, and somebody is born in a very poor family. Who decides that that person is to be born in which family? Somebody is born very beautiful, somebody is born ugly. Somebody is born with a lot of knowledge, a lot of intellectual, but somebody is not. Who decides that? We are not deciding, right? Nobody is deciding in this world. That existence is because you are a soul and you're carrying these principles or features from your last life. If you did a good job or a good karma, you'll get good looks or good money and so on and so forth. That is what it decides that. That's how the proof of a soul is also there, right? Now we'll talk about how do we know God exists. Okay, so let's go through this. So we'll talk about logical arguments in terms of how to prove somebody that God exists. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, are you guys able to see the PPT? Yes, no? No?
Yes, now we can see.
Okay, great. So we're going to talk about the genius or the mastermind behind the mysterious universe. So we're going to talk about what are our observations, what do we observe around us, what do the scientists say about it. Then we'll talk about some other aspects as well. Okay. Now, by observing things around us, we can actually make a very good conclusion about God. And these are very logical conclusions. Obviously, nobody in the world has been able to disprove that God exists. Right? So let's talk about how do we prove that God exists. So now, who is creating this and maintaining this harmonious universe? There is a harmonious universe, beautiful universe. Who is creating this? That's a big billion-dollar question which everybody's got, and nobody's got the answer other than the people who are reading the Vedas and following the scriptures. So we are going to look at 6 proofs by which we can understand that God exists, right? So wherever we see artistry, there should be an artist. Wherever we see a beautiful organization, there should be an organizer. Creation, creator. Design, designer. Energy, energetic. Flawless laws, lawmaker. This is how we can make some logical arguments. Let's now look at the first one, artistry. Now, if I ask you who made these paintings, beautiful painting of what's her name, Mona Lisa, then a beautiful mountain, a beautiful waterfall, right? Now, similarly, there are some painters. You can see Leonardo da Vinci, Van Gogh, and so on and so forth. There are some painters. Thomas Sanchez, Henri Rousseau. But what about the original painting, like this lady, beautiful lady, this beautiful mountain which actually exists, this beautiful waterfall? There's Niagara waterfall is very beautiful. In India also there are many waterfalls. And then there is this roses. Now the question is, who has made this? Because if you look at a painting, if I show you a painting and say, oh, what a painting this is, the first question you're going to ask is, who made it? Kisne banaya ye painting, right? Similarly, if you ask the question for the original painting, original things in this universe, then we can understand ki kisne banaya. That is the question, right? If you have to ask a question for artistry in this world, definitely it's worth asking the question when we see beauty around us. So the question is, who is the artist, right? Let me see if I can play this video. It's a beautiful flower. Okay, so I think I'm not able to play this. That's okay. So you can see now when I actually make a flower out of a paper, right? I need a many ingredients. I need a paper, I need glue, I need a scissor, I need a person who can do that as well, right? Similarly, if you look at a real flower in the world, when you pick up a flower from the garden, does this not question come to you? Ki kaun bana raha hai? Because if you say no, nature is doing, but who is nature? Nature is the energy of the Lord, and then nature is acting through the Lord, or Lord is acting through the nature. Right? That's why we see there are so many beautiful flowers, so many varieties. Even in rose, there are so many varieties: scented rose, and Dutch rose, and Indian rose. So many, so many varieties. And the texture of every rose is different. Every rose smells differently. Every rose has got a different color. So many different varieties. So who is making this? Who is designing this? Who is the artist who is behind this? And we are only talking about rose here. There are so many flowers, right? Like there is a flower in Himalayas, which has got, it's a lotus flower. And it's got 1,000 petals. And we have seen flowers with many petals, but 1,000 petals, it's a huge flower, isn't it? So who is the artist behind this, right? So, the texture, the color, the smell, fragrance, the shape, form, kaun bana raha hai? Who's the artist? That's the question. Right? So that's why wherever we see artistry, there has to be an artist. Because anything you see in this world, let's say, if you look at my shirt now, and I'm not saying this is a very good shirt, but I'm just saying this, if you ask, if you tell somebody, oh, this is a very nice shirt, the first question is, kaun si company ka yaar? Kisne banaya? Right? So the first question you're going to ask is, who is the artist who is, made this like that? That's the first question. Okay, now let's go to the next one. Okay, now I have to find the videos because these are important things which I need to show. Second point is beautiful organization, right? I'm going to share some videos now. Give me a minute. So the first point is about the bees, honey bees. Let me just show you a video, quick video. Let me know once you're able to see this and the sound as well.
Bees are called social insects because they live and work together.
Hear and see this
community.
video? Yes, you can see, and the sound is also coming?
Yes, Anand.
Okay, great.
Thousands of female bees, called worker bees, live together in a hive with a queen bee. The queen bee was marked with a red dot, so we can see her better. The worker bees are all females, but they almost never lay eggs. Worker bees do almost all the chores in the hive. They gather pollen or nectar, guard the entrance, clean the hive, build the comb, make honey, tend the queen, and feed the larvae. They even fan the hive with their wings to keep it cool on a hot summer day.
So you can see the beautiful organization of the bees. Do you know that bees are the only insects who can collect pollen and make honey out of it? If I give you a flower and say, hey Sakshi, can you pull honey from the flower? Can you do that? नहीं कर सकते. None of the scientists, none of them have been able to pull out, honey from the flowers. नहीं कर सकते हम. The only thing we can do is we can steal the honey which is made by the bees. That's all we can do. Right? So whatever you get in the Dabur honey or Patanjali honey is the honey which is made by these bees. And nowadays you don't even get that. The sugar syrup is made of like a honey. Actually, it's a duplicate है. एक भी आपको असली माल नहीं मिलेगा. Because it's the world of cheaters nowadays. So hard to get anything original. So you can see the organization of the bees. There is a queen bee. There is the bees are collecting pollen and they are creating honey, and they are maintaining it. So such a beautiful organization. So your organization बनाने के लिए तो somebody should be doing it, right? Like for example, if I tell you there is a big company called Microsoft or Apple or Amazon, right? And there are lakhs of employees in that organization. And I tell you कि नहीं वो अपने आप चल रहा है, कोई उसको नहीं दिख रहा. Then you'll say, hey, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? There has to be a CEO, there has to be a CFO, there has to be a COO. Some organization, right? Wherever we see beautiful organization, there has to be an organizer. कोई तो organize करना वाला चाहिए, right? Similarly, we see here in this particular case, the bees, beautiful organization because they are collecting honey, they are maintaining themselves, वगैरह वगैरह, right? So who is designing this? कौन है organizer ये? जिनको बता रहा है, right? Now let's look at a couple of other videos. I think we'll look at the spider one, which is a good one. Oh, this one. One minute. Oh, yeah. One second. I'm not able to see the window. Yeah, now you should be able to.
Mathematician spiders. Compared to their own sizes, spiders build very large webs. Indeed, if we enlarged a spider to the size of a human being, the length of the web it weaves would be approximately 150 meters, which corresponds to a 50-story skyscraper. Is it possible for a human being to weave a lacework the size of a 50-story skyscraper in only an hour? But a tiny spider accomplishes much more than that. Moreover, the spider-woven web is the sturdiest material in the world. How do spiders weave these webs possessing miraculous features? The spider takes into consideration many factors while weaving a web hundreds of times larger than its own size. This task demands at least some calculations essential in constructing a building. For the accomplishment of this work, first the spider must draw a project like an architect, for a construction of this size, design, and sturdiness cannot be accomplished without an architectural project. Once the project is drawn, the spider must calculate the lifting capacity of each part of the web like an engineer, otherwise the web cannot remain suspended. In order to design such a web and make such delicate calculations, the spider must be more qualified than a college graduate, Indeed, there is not a university that provides education to the offspring. Following their birth, they begin to produce silk, weave web.
You can see a normal spider, which we know of, has got such a power. It can view a 150-storied building, if it was the size of a human. And the spider doesn't take any raw material from outside. It is just using its saliva. And when it views the web, it is able to swallow the entire web again in its own mouth. It's possible for it. And it doesn't get attached in the web, right? So many characteristics in a small spider. Now, who is the person who is giving the intelligence to the spider, right? Recently I saw a video in which one small mouse or mice, he got stuck in the spider's net. It is very small. So the spider understood that this is not my food. I cannot eat this, this mice. The spider went and removed the weaving net and allowed the mice to go away. So who gives the intelligence to the spider? To first of all view the net and then also let go this person. So from this we can understand the intelligence of the small insect, like even spider, how much intelligence they got. Now, who gives them the intelligence? Like this person was saying that it needs an engineer. 4 years he has to go to the college to understand how to build this building or build a bridge or a web. And this guy is not even gone to any college, and he's weaving the web. From this we can understand, right? Now let's look at another example. We look at a beaver. There's an animal called as beaver. You would have heard of him. Beaver. This one. One second. Again, I lost the audio, so I need to share it again. Yeah. Yeah.
The beaver is amazing because it's an engineer. They build their beaver dams with engineering skill. As a matter of fact, engineers study beaver dams to see how to build strength into a dam and to see how to channel water. It's like the beaver knows all this. And so our engineers go to college and then they study what the beaver. It's like the brain surgeons studying the woodpecker. It's like God gave us examples in his creation of how to do things right. Well, anyway, a beaver builds his house, and he usually has a couple of entrances coming in under the water, and he makes his house in such a way that the bad gases that build up in there can escape, oxygen can come in, but he builds it in such a way that it will stay dry in there. And so they can have little baby beavers in there, and they have a nice, dry, clean place to be. He will store food in the bottom of the stream or the river, and that means he has to be underwater frequently. Well, in the winter, where most beavers live, it gets very cold. Has God made a provision for that? Oh yes, he sure has. A beaver goes underwater. He has like transparent eyelids, water goggles, and he can see through his eyelids under the water, and that's to keep the dirt out of his eyes that's floating around. He has nose flaps that close, keeps the water out of his nose, ear flaps that close, keeps the water out of his ears. He has a special thing that I like. He has fur-lined flaps in the back of his mouth that cover his throat and his molars, his big teeth in the back. Now his front teeth, they must not be sensitive, because those are the ones that he uses to chew down and chew through the trees, and they wear down and they keep growing, and he'll wear them off, they keep growing, and so they must not be sensitive, but his back teeth are. And so God made him little fur-lined flaps to protect them from the cold ice water in the wintertime. And then you think about the way a beaver swims, and he can take a branch that has a load, a drag on it, and he can swim across even a stream with a current, and he wants to come over here, but he's over here and there's a current, and he's dragging a branch, and he can go right straight across there. He'll compensate. So he's making mathematical calculations, and he is figuring out what kind of rudder action he needs with his tail to compensate for the drag and for the current in the stream, and he gets to where he wants to go every single time. I don't think evolution has an explanation for that, but I think my God does.
You see what he said? Evolution doesn't have an explanation, but God does. What it means is we can see from these very, very minute things around us what provision God has made. You know, like for example, we got this eyelashes, right? Now, why are these eyelashes for? Eyebrows for, right? This is so that, you know, our eyes are protected. We have got eyelashes here, we got a covering, we got, you know, the sweat should not come from the, you know, our forehead into the eyes. Eyes should be protected. Now, if you look at the design, our nose is protruding outside and the eyes are inside the socket. So in case even you fall down, nothing will happen to your eyes. Naak ko kuch ho sakta hai, but aankh ko kuch nahi hoga. That is the design. So there's an intelligent design which is there in play. It is not like, you know, kuch to aise hi banane ke liye bana diya, right? There's so much of intelligence there. Like you can see in the air, if you observe in the atmosphere, the oxygen percentage is perfectly 22%. If it was more, we would suffocate. If it was less, we'll still suffocate. Which means the proportion is perfectly kept by God. Now, who can make these arrangements? Agar aisa hota, it would be, you know, there would be so much chaos, but it's not, right? And there are so many examples which are going to come further. But from this particular example, we can understand that beautiful organization which we see around us needs an organizer, right? We saw so many examples. Then there are others like a cocoon, right? A cocoon is built by a silkworm and a silk is produced, right? Like that, there are so many examples where we can see that God has made arrangements in such a way that, you know, it becomes perfectly fine for that particular animal to do so many things, right? So it's an intelligence which has been used. It is not random. Kuch to banane ke liye bana diya, right? So wherever we see beautiful organization, there has to be an organizer. That's the second thing. Likewise, we see so many things created by man: beautiful cars, beautiful computers, beautiful watches, you know, architectural marvels, right? Skyscraper buildings, sculptures, right? Now, if you go and ask, ये Eiffel Tower किसने बनाया? Right? Obviously, you're going to get an answer कि ये engineer ने बनाया. ये शिवाजी महाराज का पुतला किसने बनाया? किसने बनाया? So is it wrong to ask ये पूरा बड़ा इतना universe किसने बनाया? Shouldn't there be a super intelligent creator who has created it? Obviously, right? So the answer is obvious that yes, there has to be a creator. Whatever creation we say, there has to be a creator. For example, if I show you this mobile and I tell you, you know what? Actually, I woke up early in the morning and I saw this mobile just lying beside me. अपने आप से आ गया, packing करके आया. You might say, hey, what are you talking about, Anand? Somebody has to be a creator for this mobile or this laptop which I'm using, or the specs I'm wearing, or the earphones I'm, you know, wearing. There has to be a creator. You show me a thing in the world which doesn't have a creator. Everything has a creator. Even we have creators, which is our parents. So what to speak about a laptop or mobile or specs or earphones? Every creation in the world has a reason, and every creation has a creator. This is for sure. Like you might say, hey, nature किसने बनाया? Nature भी बनाया, भगवान ने बनाया. Right? That's the third proof we can talk about. Then we can see a small seed. Now this seed you can see is hardly about 10-15 millimeters, right? But when you sow that seed in the ground, right, you get a huge tree. Now this tree which you are looking at is called a sequoia tree. This is found in the Americas, and you can see the size of the tree. A big van can go through the trunk of the tree, right? The diameter of this tree is 84. The length is, or height is 84 meters. The diameter is more than 29 meters, which means we need at least 15 people to hold each other like this in order to circumvent the tree. That's the size of the tree. And how much was the seed? Hardly 15 millimeters. So how did this grow into such a big tree? That's the miracle, right? That's the miracle we're talking about. And this tree is even bigger than a spaceship or the Statue of Liberty. Itna bada hai wo, right? Like that. Now let's look at the brain. Like we have an Intel chip in the computer. Now let's look at the human brain. I'll show you, which will help you to understand what is involved in a brain. Brain, which we are talking about, it's in our head. It can store all the information in all the libraries in the world. It can store all the information in all the libraries in the world. It has got so much immense power, right? Like for example, you meet somebody, and 10, 20 years would have met this person, and you'll immediately remember who that is, right? That's the power of the brain. And you saw so many things. Around 80,000 of thoughts come in one day of a person. So many thoughts, right? So that's the power of the brain, right? Which has been created. Now people say, "Arey, we created this, scientists created this, that." Yes, but who created the brain of the scientists? Scientists ne khud ne nahi banaya. Somebody would have created. That is God, right? You can see here it's stated, human brain can store more information than all the libraries in the world. That's the power, right? Now let's go to the micro world. There are so many microorganisms or microstructures, right? Like these, what you see here coming now, right? So these are all defined in a structured way. Whatever you see, for example, there is graphite, and you have learned this in chemistry. If you change the composition of graphite slightly, you know what becomes? You get a diamond. Now, what is graphite worth? Nothing. You can find in every pencil graphite, but diamond is worth, it is hugely costly. What does it mean? And it is not by fluke. You can even change the molecular structure of a graphite and achieve a diamond. That's possible, right? Which means whatever chemical structure we see in the chemical chart we refer, it is all very scientific. It is not randomly sab kuch banaya hua hai. It is scientific. Scientifically, we can see that everything is working in a structured manner in the world, right? Similarly, the solar system we look at, right? It is all very organized properly. For example, the distance between sun and earth is perfectly managed so that you get proper sunlight. There is no overheat or there is no cold, which means if the sun was closer to us even by a few kilometers, we would be burnt to ashes. And if the sun was further away from us by a few meters or kilometers, we would be frozen to death. इसका मतलब है कि दोनों के बीच में distance perfect रखा हुआ है. That's why we are able to survive. Imagine thousands and thousands miles कहीं पे है वो, lakhs of miles, and we are able to get the heat. Right? That's this thing. There's another concept called as Fibonacci series, which you see here. So one scientist called as Fibonacci found out that in the entire creation, there is a particular sequence of numbers by which we can understand that this particular creation is forming. The rabbits are evolving, a particular animal is evolving. Everywhere he is able to. Let me see if I can play the video. It'll be much clearer. He explains much better than what I am doing. But it's a beautiful, organization in the way this Fibonacci is organized. So let me see if I can show you. Yeah.
1200 AD, a man named discovered a sequence
Are you able to
Around-
see the video and hear it?
Yes, Anand.
You were able, right? Okay.
1200 AD, a man named Leonard Pisano, better known as Fibonacci, discovered a sequence of numbers that created a very interesting pattern. The sequence begins with the numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and continues indefinitely. Each number is obtained by adding the last two digits together. A rectangle with a length and width of any two of the numbers of this sequence forms what is known as the golden rectangle, a perfect rectangle. A golden rectangle can be broken down into squares the size of the next Fibonacci numbers down and below. If we were to take a perfect or golden rectangle, break it down into smaller squares based on Fibonacci's sequence, and divide each with an arc, the patterns begin to take shape. We begin to see Fibonacci's spiral. The spiral in and of itself is insignificant. Its importance is revealed in where we find it. Take, for example, the sunflower. The display of its florets are in perfect spirals of 55, 34, and 21, the sequence of Fibonacci. The fruitlets of the pineapple create the same spiral based on the sequence. The pine cone does the same. As currents move through the ocean and the tide rolls onto the shore, the waves that bring in the tide curve into a spiral that can be mathematically diagrammed onto a plot at the points 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and 55. Buds on trees, sand dollars, starfish, petals on flowers, and especially the nautilus shell are formed with this exact same blueprint. With each segment of growth, the nautilus adds to itself one more value on Fibonacci's scale. This blueprint can be seen around us on a small scale every day, but the greatest example of all is directly above our heads. At an average of 100,000 light years across, even the spiral of the galaxies above us are formed with the exact design that the tiny shell is formed. This sequence or blueprint appears to be the trademark of a designer, a proof of a creator, something left behind indicating the one who was there, a fingerprint. As we scan our universe from the tiny flower to the awe-inspiring galaxy, we see the fingerprint of God.
So you can see this sequence actually gives a hint of creation of the God, right? So that's why we say wherever we see creation, wherever we see design, there is a designer, right? Okay, let's move on. Now you see a space shuttle. When a shuttle is sent in the sky, right? There are so many things which are involved. You need so many scientists who are monitoring it 24/7. You need so many scientists who need to create it. So many parameters are looked at: orientation, spin, velocity, blah, 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 blah. So many parameters looked at so that the space shuttle or satellite remains in the orbit. It stays in the orbit, right? That's the whole idea, right? And there is a satellite control room where everybody is monitoring this for 24/7. Now, if a small space shuttle needs so many scientists, what about Earth, which is 6 into 10 raised to 21 metric tons? Itna size ka hai wo? If it has to be floated in the universe or the sky, don't you think somebody needs to do it? एक छोटा सा space shuttle, छोटा सा इसलिए बोल रहे हैं क्योंकि comparison with the Earth is very small and it is actually floating in the sky. Don't we think that we need a space? We need a somebody who needs to create this Earth and he has to float it in the universe. करना चाहिए ना? That is the designer. Even I talked about how the sun rays do not directly come to the Earth. There are so many layers here. You can see there is an atmosphere, there is a plasma sphere, there is a polar cusp. All these layers do not allow the sunlight to directly fall on the Earth. That's why we are protected. Otherwise, like there's an ozone layer as well. There's a Bow shock, which you can see here. This helps us to protect ourselves from the sunlight. Uske karan we don't get the UV rays, right? And we are protected. Otherwise, If you go to regions like New Zealand and Australia, there the skin cancer ratio is high because there the ozone layer is reduced and direct UV rays are falling on the people. That's why they go through cancer. But because of this layer which you see around the earth, we are protected. Now, ये किसने बनाया भाई? किसने तो बनाना चाहिए ना, अपने आप थोड़ी बनेगा. That's the proof, right? Now the earth itself, I showed you, it's such a huge mass and it is rotating around the sun at the speed of 106,000 kilometers per hour. If you go in a speeding car, which is let's say 150 kilometers per hour or 200 kilometers per hour, right? The car might start wobbling, right? But do you ever feel कि अभी हम लोग गिरने वाले हैं earth से? नहीं. It is actually rotating with such a huge speed, but still we do not feel like it is going to fall. So now the point is, who is under control of this earth? Who is under control of the sun? Is NASA looking at it? No. NASA कैसे देख सकता है? Nobody. Right? If a traffic police can control the signal, don't you think we need somebody who control the entire orbit of the planets? There are so many planets there. Earth hai, moon hai, sun hai. Don't you think there should be somebody who can control? Right? Therefore, wherever you see a design, there has to be a designer. Right? So we have talked about 4 things so far. Now let's go to the 5th thing, which is the E part, which is the energy. Now the energy which the sun is emitting per second is enough to produce the entire energy for the earth for all times to come. Itna energy uske paas. We are only consuming little of it, right? That's the amount of energy it has got. The question is, who is giving so much of energy to the sun? Itna kaun de raha hai usko sun ko energy? And who is maintaining it, right? That's the entire question. So for example, if I'm at home and somebody throws a stone from outside, right? The first question is ki kisne patthar mara? Who is the person who is thrown the stone, right? Now the stone represents the energy of the person who is throwing the stone. Similar to what I am doing now. I'm speaking and you are able to hear me. So my energy is coming through the sound vibrations and you are able to hear it, right? So which means wherever you see energy, there has to be an energetic, a person who is providing the energy, right? So that fundamental concept can be applied to this particular earth as well, or sun as well. Now sun is providing energy and the energetic person is the sun planet. Now who is controlling that planet? How come we are able to get so much of light from the planet? It is said, the scientists say that ज्वालामुखी जो होते हैं, on the sun planet there are thousands and millions of ज्वालामुखीs who are bursting every time. And the point is, who is bursting them? Who is, for example, if you keep a small diya in your home in front of your altar, right? To make the diya glow for the entire life or even one day, you have to pour a lot of ghee or oil there. So don't you think we have to do something about the sun if it has to keep on burning, right? Which means somebody is actually continuously providing energy to this sun. And that somebody is God. Let's look at the last point. Now, if you look at around the world, there are certain laws which are made. For example, somebody goes to the college, there is a start time. In the college, you can wear only certain kind of clothes. You have to attend the classes. You have to give exams. These are the laws, right? Another example could be when you're driving on the road, you have to keep on the left in India and keep on the right on some income countries like US and some European countries. Who made this law? The local authorities have made this law. In cricket, you have certain laws. How many players should be there in a team? How many ways a batsman can get out and all those things. These rules are made by ICC, International Cricket Council. Similarly, there are laws in the nature. Like this periodic table was made by Dmitry Mendeleev, right? So he's made a table which says that every element has got certain structure, certain value, right? And based on that, the combination can be. For example, if you take 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of 1 molecule of oxygen and 2 molecules of hydrogen, you get H2O. 1 molecule of hydrogen and 1 molecule of chlorine, you get HCl, hydrochloric acid. Like that, this combination was found out by Mendeleev. But he only discovered them. He did not actually make them. Right? For example, for us to get water or for us to get hydrochloric acid, there is a particular formula. Right? So this is the law. This is the law which is made by nature or God, but it was discovered by Mendeleev. Like that, there are many laws. Right? So this periodic law did not come by chance. It is a perfect law. For example, there are laws of physics. It says, there is the law of gravity, which Newton found. He was sitting under a tree and he found that, everything is falling down, which means there must be something which they are attracting, the earth is attracting. That's law of gravity. There's law of action and reaction. Every action has got equal and opposite reaction. So there are laws of physics. Now, Newton did not create this law. He only discovered it. Action and reaction, only discovered it. He is not the one who made it, right? That is what is you have to understand. Next, there are laws of optics, right? For example, if you keep one glass of water, transparent glass of water, and put a pencil in there, then the pencil will seem like it is bent. Teda dikhega wo. But is it actually bent? No. Because of the law of refraction, the pencil seems like it is bent. Similarly, there is law of thermodynamics, right? We don't need to obviously go in the details, but there is so many laws, right? Then there is a micro world, macro world law, right? So the point here is wherever there is laws, there has to be a lawmaker. We see laws around us, the government laws, central government laws, state government laws, college laws, society laws. Somebody is making the laws. There is a legal government or a legal authority. Similarly, in the world, there are laws like gravity, action and reaction, thermodynamics, optics, so many laws are there. Who is making them? There has to be a lawmaker. That's the point we're trying to drive here. So now we have looked at the 6 proofs. Now let's look at the last point. Now somebody is born beautiful, somebody is ugly, somebody is handsome, somebody is not so, somebody is stinking rich, somebody is poor, somebody is highly educated, somebody is not educated. The question is, who decides this? कौन डिसाइड कर रहा है अभी? मेरे को भी अंबानी की फैमिली में जन्म लेना था, मेरे को पाटिल में क्यों डाला भाई? क्या गलती किया मैंने? Right? So I could ask the question, right? Why am I born in the Patil family? I could have born in the Tata family, Birla family, Ambani family. मैं ऐस मजा करता रहता था. Why am I born in the Patil family? Because of what? That is the point. Who decides this? Okay, we'll come to that. You can choose certain things. Can somebody tell me what things you can choose in our life? कौन सी चीजें हम चूज कर सकते हैं?
Freedom.
और freedom. Okay. What else? Some tangible things, Chaitali, which you can say कि हाँ ये मैं choose कर सकती हूँ. Very, very tangible, very simple things. हमारे जीवन में हम क्या चीज चूज कर सकते हैं? It's not that difficult. The others can also answer. बहुत simple है.
Career.
Sorry?
Career.
Your voice is very feeble. Okay, Sakshi is saying, okay, school, college, we can choose. Ritu is saying, that's correct. Karma, you can choose, correct, Sakshi, which means what actions I'm going to do. Ritu Singh is saying partner, yeah, perfect. Chaitali is saying career, yeah, perfect. Right? So these things you can choose, right? You can choose your education, you can choose your job, you can choose your wife, husband, you can choose your car, you can choose your house. These things you can choose. But what are the things you cannot choose? Can you tell me? What are those things you cannot choose? कुछ भी करें हम लोग वो चूज कर ही नहीं सकते. What are those things?
Parents, where we are born.
हाँ, पेरेंट्स हम लोग नहीं चूज कर सकते बाबा. पेरेंट जो हम जहां बॉर्न हो गए वहीं पे हो गए. We cannot choose, right? What else? Families which are, yeah, correct. Birth, death, yeah, exactly. Destiny. Birth, death हम लोग नहीं चूज करते. नहीं मुझे इसी दिन 1 जनवरी 2000 को ही बॉर्न करना. नहीं, you cannot choose. You will be born. Country where you are born, you cannot choose. Family which you are born, siblings you can't choose, right? So these things we can't choose. Parents, our face cut, हम नहीं बोल सकते कि अरे यार मेरा फेस कट ऐसा क्यों है? मुझे तो सलमान खान जैसा बॉडी चाहिए था और चेहरा मुझे ऋतिक रोशन जैसा चाहिए था और आंखें मेरी ऐसी चाहिए थी वैसी चाहिए थी, राइट? तो ये we cannot choose that. ये तो जो आया वो उसको एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा. Our IQ, can you choose your IQ? अरे यार मेरे को ऐसा क्यों IQ था? मुझे आइंस्टाइन वाला IQ चाहिए था, ऐसा क्यों दिया? No, जो भी मिला उसमें खुश रहना पड़ेगा. Obviously you can eat badam and some things which will help you to increase your IQ a little bit, but जितना मिला उतना ही more or less you'll be able to, right? So in that case, who is giving us these things which we can't choose? हमारा family किसने decide किया? हमारा destiny किसने decide किया? हमारा the face cut किसने decide किया? Not us. There are laws in the world. Similarly, there is law of something called as law of karma. Law of karma decides कि आपका जन्म कहाँ होगा, आपका मृत्यु कब होगा, what kind of face cut you will get, what kind of intelligence you will get. Everything is decided by our karma. Karma means actions which you have taken in the last life. उसके हिसाब से you will get the next birth, right? The way we are going to be behave, right? Like that. So that's why birth, beauty, intelligence, these are not random things नहीं है कि अरे यार मेरे साथ partiality हुआ, मेरा तो चेहरा ऐसा बकवास दिया और उसको देखो कितना सुंदर दिया है. No, this is not partiality. This is actually based on laws. हमने कुछ किया है, उसके हिसाब से हमको मिल रहा है. That's it. No partiality. Nobody is actually, goes through partiality in this world, right? No, you might say नहीं यहाँ पे इतने सारे चोर उचक्के हैं, चीटिंग करते हैं, पॉलिटिशियंस पैसा खाते हैं. Obviously, they are going to, go through the reactions of what they're doing. ऐसा नहीं है कि they will not get reactions, right? Like that. So that's called law of karma. So flawless laws, there has to be a law maker. Somebody has to be there who is making the law. So now we have looked at 6 things which helps us to understand that God exists. A for, okay, now let's do a quick revision. A for artistry, correct? Yes. Wherever there's an artistry, there has to be an artist. B for anybody? अभी भी बताया था, भूल गया. Beautiful organization, organizer, right? C for
Creators.
creator, creation. Wherever you see a creation, there has to be a creator. D for
Designer.
design, designer. Yeah, thank you, Ritu. Thank you, Jyoti. Design, designer. Then E for, what is E for? 5th one. Energy, energetic, correct?
Right.
Yeah, wherever you see energy, there has to be an energetic, a person who is, showing the energy. And F for flawless laws. Thank you, Jyoti. Right? Wherever you see flawless laws, there has to be a law maker, right? So these things are actually proof that God exists. If you say no, God doesn't exist, then you have to give the answers to this question. कि मेरा मुखड़ा ऐसे ही क्यों बनाया, इतना गंदा मुखड़ा क्यों दिया, ऐसे इंटेलिजेंस इतना गंदा क्यों दिया, right? Why am I born in this family? अंबानी की family में क्यों नहीं जन्मा? Somebody has to answer these questions. If you can't answer this question, then you have to believe in God, right? That's why, these questions and these points pinpoint us to a person who is the creator of this universe, right? Like that. That is a fantastic proof that we are existing here, right? Now let's look at the next point and then we'll close in 5 minutes. What do the scientists think about God? Now this is what Albert Einstein is saying. There is a perfect brain behind all the natural physical laws, which means there is one person who has created the laws and who is governing it, right? What does Faraday say? This Faraday? No, sorry, this is Erwin Schrödinger. This the summary of all that is basically he's saying that whatever the science says, they do not have answer to subtle things, bitter, sweet, pain, pleasure. इसका answer नहीं है उनके पास. Basically, the points related to subtle things, God and creation, they don't have. Is what is clearly saying. Faraday. Kelvin. If you think strongly enough, you will be forced by science itself to believe in God. That's what he's saying, right? Newton one time was sitting in his home and he had created this solar system. You can see this manual solar system. You will pull out the crankshaft and the objects will move. So he was sitting in his bedroom and this was kept in the hall. And one of his friends who was an atheist who didn't believe in God, scientist, he came into his home and he saw this beautiful thing and he pulled the crankshaft and the object started moving. And he was very, very impressed. When Newton came in that room, the friend asked, "Hey, Newton, who made this? Such a beautiful thing." And the Newton said, "This morning I just woke up and this suddenly appeared. I don't know who made it." And the friend said, hey, come on, Newton, please tell me who made this. He said, no, I'm not joking. This really came up on its own. It just popped out. And the friend said, hey, come on, yeah. If you do not want to give this to me or borrow me, but no, don't joke with me. Please tell me. Newton said, if you do not believe the solar system, which has got so many planets, which are rotating around each other in such a systematic fashion without, hitting each other, right? If you do not believe somebody is actually controlling that, how do you, if you do not believe a small solar system replica is not moving on its own, not created by somebody, how can you not believe that this solar system was made by God himself? Simple question, a simple answer. And then the atheist friend understood and went away. That's how the story of Newton is. So even Newton believed in God, right? Newton said, the most beautiful system जो बनाया है हमने, right, which is governing all the living beings, all the things, right? It is the dominion of God. And this entire ocean, one entire ocean is like this entire universe. And scientists like us, we are sitting on the beach and trying to look at the pebbles. हमने अभी तक एंटर भी नहीं किया समंदर में. अब तक हम बाहर ही बैठे. And we are not able to figure out कैसे चल रहा है सब कुछ, right? Like that. This is Max Born. I saw in it the atom, the key to the deepest secret of nature, and it revealed to me the greatness of the creation and creator. Not only bigger things, even the smaller atom things, like even the DNA of a person, it's got so much of information. If you look at a cell in the body, right? The battery wala cell nahi hai, body ke andar jo cell hota hai wo, it is like an entire city. एक city की जैसा होता है. It is managed like a city. उतना, there are so many things which are energy, which is actually transferred, energy which is, maintained. So it is like an entire city के जैसे उसको maintain किया जा रहा है. It's a miracle in itself, right? Ramanujan, an equation for me has no meaning unless it represents a thought of God, right? Werner Herzberg, there is a higher power not influenced by our wishes and which finally decides and judges. हम लोग नहीं बना रहे हो, भगवान ही सब कुछ कर रहा है, right? Michael Faraday, finally. We ought to value the privilege of knowing God's truth far beyond anything we can have in this world. So basically, these scientists believe in God. So who says that, God doesn't exist? There are a few scientists who don't believe in God, but most of the scientists like these believe in God, right? So why should we deny the existence of God? We looked at the proof of the God and we see even the scientists believe in God, right? This actually showcases us that God does exist. Now we'll see some portion of this next week, but basically, where are we going towards? Like last week, we talked about who we are. We are a soul, right? We're not this body. Now we talked about who is God. So where are we heading? Because the topic is, unlocking happiness in your heart or within you. Point here is, unless we understand God, unless we understand who we are, unless we understand what is the relationship between two, unless we understand how to see God, we will not be able to understand why there is no happiness in this world, or why we are suffering, right? So these things are very, very important for us to understand before we understand how we can be happy. Because the real definition of happiness is to serve God, right? And when we learn this, then it becomes easier to understand how to get that happiness. So right now we are trying to find happiness in the wrong thing. For example, if you go in a desert and say कि हाँ ये पानी कहाँ मिलेगा यहाँ पे, पानी मिलेगा ही नहीं. Desert में तुमको सिर्फ मिराज ही मिलेगा. Like that we have come in this material world and बोल रहे कि खुशियाँ कहाँ मिलेगी, बताओ भाई, हमको खुशियाँ चाहिए. मिलने ही नहीं वाली खुशी यहाँ पे. This is भगवत में कृष्णा से दुखालय म शाश्वतम. This world is दुखालय म शाश्वतम. You are trying to find the wrong thing in the wrong place. कभी नहीं मिलने वाला. So for this you have to understand these basics. So next time we will see if God exists. हमने देखा इतने सारे proof देखे, इतने सारे scientists बोल रहे कि God है. So why are we not able to see God? God दिखते क्यों नहीं भाई? दिखाओ तो हमको. कहाँ हो आप? Right? That is the. So think about it for 1 week and come with some answers, and then we will discuss the topic. Okay. Any couple of questions? 1-2 questions we'll take. Otherwise we'll close. So gradually these 8 sessions will teach you the basics of spirituality, and at the end it will tell you how to remain happy in this world so far as we can be, right? Thank you. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I see you next Saturday, same time. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.